Sensory memory. The George Sperling experiment was when he showed people different words and letters and then asked them to remember them. He then recorded the data. Iconic memory is the momentary sensory memory of visual stimuli, while echoic memory is the momentary sensory memory of auditory stimuli. Long-term memory. Our capacity for storing long-term memories is essentially limitless. Two people known for their long-term memory are Rajan Mahadevan and Akira Haraguchi. Rajan won the World Cup of Numbers 10 times, while Akira memorized over 100,000 digits of pi.
Short-term memory is a temporary holding place for information that we're using at the current time. For instance, if someone tells us a phone number, we can stick it in our head long enough to dial, then we forget it. Short-term memory lasts only a few seconds. In one study, after a 3-second delay, people forgot 3 consonant groups half the time. They forget them almost completely after 12 seconds. Short-term memory can hold only about 7 bits of information.
Long-term potentiation, also known as LTP, is an increase in the synapse firing potential after brief, rapid stimulation. LTP is believed to be a neural basis for learning and memory. Drugs that block LTP interfere with learning. Mutant mice engineered to lack an enzyme needed for LTP can't learn their way out of a maze. Rats given a drug that enhances LTP will learn a maze with half the usual numbers of mistakes. Injecting rats with a chemical that blocks the preservation of LTP erases recent learning. Memory biology explorers have helped found companies that are competing to develop and test memory-boosting drugs. One approach is developing drugs that boost the production of CREB, which switches genes off or on. Genes code the production of protein molecules. With repeating neural firing, a neural cell's genes produce synapse-strengthening proteins enabling LTP. Another approach is developing drugs that boost a neurotransmitter that enhances synapse communication. Flashbulb memory, a clear memory of an emotionally significant moment or event. The people who experienced a 1989 San Francisco earthquake did just that. A year and a half later, they had perfect recall of where they had been and what they were doing. Others' memories for the circumstances under which they merely heard about the quake were more prone to errors. Amnesia, the loss of memory. The most famous case, a patient known to every neuroscientist as HM, experienced in 1953 the necessary surgical removal of a brain area involved in laying new conscious memories of facts and experiences. The brain tissue loss left his older memories intact, but converting new memories to long-term storage was another matter. For example, over practice sessions, HM became skilled at what is, for anyone, an initially difficult task, tracing the mirrored outline of a star. Yet, having no memory for doing the task, he remarked to researcher Brenda Milner after many practice trials that this was easier than I thought it would be. I've known HM since 1962, and he still doesn't know who I am, noted his longtime researcher Susan Corkin.
Implicit and explicit memory. There are 2 types of memory systems. Explicit memory consciously calls recalled memories. These are things like facts or experience that you can call up. Implicit memory is memory without conscious recall. This can either be skills or classical conditioning. The person may know how to skateboard but wouldn't be able to explain that they know it. Hippocampus and cerebellum. The hippocampus seems important in writing new memories. Damage to the hippocampus hurts memories. Extra activity in it during sleep seems to help people remember things later on. The hippocampus is more of a temporary site for memories. The cerebellum is important for strong implicit memories from classical conditioning.
What was the 6th word? Ice.